Your time is now 8:11, and this morning at least 6 people are dead, millions without power after Hurricane Helene slammed into Florida. It continues its path north, and it has now been downgraded to a tropical storm. Joining us now for more on the destruction is Rebecca Castor, reporting live in Tallahassee. Rebecca, what's the very latest on the conditions where you are?
Abby, good morning. Well, it is nice and sunny here just a few hours after Helene made landfall. We know it's in Georgia now, so the scene here is a lot different than what we were experiencing yesterday. I can show you some of the damage that we're noticing this morning as well. This is some of the most significant damage that we have found here in Tallahassee. You have a large tree that hit this apartment complex. You can see one of the windows to one of the units up there in the corner. We don't know if anybody was injured by this tree falling over, but you know, yesterday, Abby, when we were talking, Tallahassee was anticipating a larger hit. They were expecting to be slammed by this storm. And fortunately, it did shift further east. It hit about 50 miles southeast of here in Perry, Florida. So it's a lot different story this morning than what city officials were bracing for. This damage behind me, you know, it actually took a little bit to find this damage this morning. It's not widespread throughout the city. So that is some good news. At least one Florida city can breathe a sigh of relief this morning.
Yeah, it's good to hear that. I mean, Tallahassee was spared from some of the worst. I mean, life-threatening flooding in other parts of Georgia and the Carolinas. I'm curious, the people that you've been talking to in Tallahassee and some of the surrounding areas, what was their experience like preparing for this and enduring Helene?
Yeah, so last night I can tell you during the storm, we heard, you know, the loud winds outside. We had that heavy rainfall as well. But, you know, after that, you know, it went fast. This was a fast moving storm. You know, it was less than an hour and it was gone. And then this morning when we got up by 3 a.m., you know, the rain was gone. We didn't even get rained on this morning. So it did move fast. The cleanup is going to begin here. But as we know, the storm's impacts are not over. It's causing significant flooding in Atlanta's metro area this morning. So we'll have to continue to monitor to see what other impacts we see throughout the day.
Rebecca Castor, live in Tallahassee. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe, and we really appreciate your reporting. That's the perfect transition as we look ahead to what we're expecting in Georgia, the Western Carolinas. Life-threatening flooding. First ever flash flood emergency in Atlanta. The metro area is facing really dangerous conditions. It has been the wettest 3-day stretch there in more than 100 years, totaling almost 12 inches of rain. And part of the problem is that some of those surrounding areas dealt with heavy rain earlier in the week. So already you have rivers that are running high. There's not as much of an ability to absorb that moisture into the landscape. You got some of the higher elevations surrounding the Carolinas dealing with the very heavy rain. And there are so many alerts that are in effect right now. In the red for Atlanta, Greenville, Asheville, flash flood warnings in place. In the forest green, flood watches all the way through Kentucky and Tennessee. Flood warnings for a lot of local rivers that you see there in the lime green. Even more rain is on the way. So this is expected to move off toward the northwest. Next up, Nashville, Louisville. Those are some of the spots that we're watching for you very closely. Atlanta today, one of those communities facing the life-threatening flooding.